Manchester United kicked off their pre-season with a nice comfortable 2-0 win against Leeds. Now we go to Edinburgh to face Edinburgh to face Lyon before we fly out for the pre-season tour. This won't be where we're seeing Andre Onana make his debut. And I don't think it's going to be a game where we see a lot of the first team international players playing. Ten Hag has already hinted towards that. So I'm going to run through my predicted 11 and my prediction for the game, all the talking points and all the things I think we all need to watch out for and look out, not watch out for, but look out for. The pre-season is all about fitness and understanding patterns about what we're going to see during the season. I'm going to cover all that in this video. If you can, I said this once the other day on a video, and so many of you liked it. So if you can, just genuinely, I don't know, let's try and get 3,000 likes on this video. I don't think I've ever done a like target before. And it's never, ever going to happen, but I've just done it. Let's see if it works. It'll be cool. Look, something to get excited about. Onana flying into Manchester. He's landing here on Tuesday. Hopefully getting his medical done. Will he get the visa in time? We'll find out. But this won't be where we see Onana. And I don't think it's where we're going to be seeing many of our senior first-team internationals. There's Rashford there, there's Eriksen there, but we've had plenty back. Bruno Fernandes, we've had Casemiro, we've had so many of them. But remember what Ten Hag said after the game against Leeds? He said this, he goes, look, those players, most of them, will not show up in Edinburgh because they need time and to have a good training week. They had to have days off and relaxation. Those players played most of the games in the last season, so they needed that rest. So then we have to bring them back, but you have to do it carefully, and you can't go from 0 to 100. So Ten Hag there has kind of made it, he's not made it clear. He's not said that none will turn up, but it's unlikely we're going to be seeing many of those first-team players, which means what we're going to do for the interest of this video is take a look at the whole squad that travelled out for the game in Oslo and pick a team from that. And I think there were plenty of standout, maybe not there were a couple of standout performances from young players. And I think these, let me just run through my 11. I don't really know how to describe it. Because look, Matej Kovar in the second half. Tom Heaton played in the first half. I could see Tom Heaton leaving Manchester United on, I think he was linked to, where was it? Luton, I think it was. Matej Kovar in that second half showed me he's of the same sort of ilk as Onana. Comfortable with the ball at his feet. Happy to play it through gaps. Not too scared about taking the ball under pressure. My instinct is telling me that Matej Kovar wouldn't be happy going from Manchester United's first choice to Manchester United's third choice if we were to sign a second choice goalkeeper like Suzuki once we see Dean Henderson join Nottingham Forest. But it depends. Maybe he could be second choice. I don't really know whether he would be or not, but he seems good enough and I want to see more of him. And I imagine Ten Hag does too. Somebody who I was definitely impressed with against Leeds was Alvaro Fernandes, who of course spent last season on loan at Preston. I actually think we're going to get the exact same back five. I think we're going to get Fernandes, Martinez, Varane, and Wan-Bissaka. Now, of course, you something that I keep saying every single time we talk about these is watch that higher line. Watch Kovar hopefully sit on the edge of his own box and Manchester United play that high line. But Alvaro Fernandes, I think unfortunately for him, and I've said this a few times, I think his pathway to the first team is blocked. Malacia and Shaw, two decent, well, Shaw first choice, obviously. Malacia, a good backup. Does he want to stay at United and be third choice? Kind of a similar issue to what Kovar is. And so I therefore think probably loan spells for both of them are more likely. But Kovar needs a better loan spell. No offense to Sparta Prague in Czech Republic, but needs maybe is a championship loan better? I don't know. How good was it to see Martinez back? I want to see him and Varane back together again. I think that's the defence. I think the only change there you should see is Kovar coming in for Tom Heaton. Maybe you see Tom Heaton in the second half. Maybe you see Bishop actually. In midfield, of course, we're going to be seeing this man. What did you think about his debut against Leeds? I enjoyed it. I don't think he did anything overly spectacular, but he certainly didn't do anything wrong. Settled in very well, took every set piece. Good passes, good movement, good pressing, and worked really well, actually, alongside Hannibal. I thought those two together complemented each other pretty well. And I imagine we're going to be seeing this man sitting behind them in midfield. So I'm going to go for this as my midfield trio. I'm going to go for Kobbie Mainoo there again. I'm going to go for Mason Mount on the right-hand side. And I've actually not got him here. So Collier, sorry, mate. I'll switch you out for Hannibal. My bad. If you're watching, don't get offended. You probably aren't watching. But this was This was my standout performance from that game. Because of the, I suppose it's because how much I'd sort of hyped him up in my own head and sort of told you to look out for him and see how he played, and Kobbie Mainoo just lived up to expectations. Now, what we know will happen in this game, just like in the last one, it's going to be 45 minutes, a team will switch. It's not until you get towards the last, 2 or 3 games or so of preseason that certain players start to play 60 minutes, and then some even play 90 before the season starts. Ten Hag, we know, is a man who likes to play his strongest team. And I think that's why he's going to be going with a lot of what he played in the first half against Lyon, but maybe making a couple of changes. But I don't particularly see why he changes that midfield. I thought Mason Mount was great. Maybe not great. Mason Mount was very good. I thought Kobbie Mainoo was better, but I also thought Hannibal. What do you see as the best choice for Hannibal? I personally see it as if Manchester United can sell Fred and sell Van der Beek, and then we bring in Amrabat maybe to be that sort of deeper line playmaker cover, then I think there's an opportunity there for Hannibal to be one of the alternatives to Mount and Fernandes. And him being there and competing for those spots, being used in cup games, stuff like that. It's either that or it's a Premier League loan spell. He's already, I think he had like 41 appearances at Birmingham last year. I don't see how another Championship loan spell takes this game from here up there. So it's either a Premier League loan spell for me or competing for a spot in this squad. But I would go for that in the midfield. That midfield trio really worked together. I enjoyed seeing those three, and I think they complemented each other, and I want to see more of Mainoo in that position. Now, somebody who definitely impressed, and he's going to go from, I believe, starting in the second half to starting in the first half in this game, was Emran. I'm going to put him up front there. Emran, I don't particularly think he's going to force his way into contention at Manchester United this year, but I think he's probably going to earn himself a pretty good loan spell if he can use this pre-season well. Last summer, we had Iqbal and Charlie Savage were two of the standout midfield, just kind of the two standout youngsters. And neither of them got a loan spell at the early. I think did Charlie Savage, was it Forest Green he went to in the end? I don't think he went for the whole season. Or he might have done a month. But anyway, Zidane Iqbal didn't get that loan. And he's obviously been sold now. Emran, I think he's been linked with Sunderland, with Strasbourg, with a couple of others. He impressed. It was a good finish. It was good movement. Also a good assist for the second goal too. I think he starts up front because, let's be honest, we're scraping the barrel. We've got no striker. Well, you've got Hugo in there who scored, and it could be Joe Hugo who plays there, right? It's either Hugo or Emran, because I don't think he's going to be playing Sancho there. I think he's going to go and stick with what he did early doors. Actually, I think Sancho and Ahmed kind of drifted inside, drifted outside. It was kind of a bit, not hickledy-pickledy, but fluid. Of course, that's how Ten Hag wants his attackers to be. He wants his strikers to be comfortable on the left and the right. He wants his left winger to be comfortable going through the middle. Sancho last preseason was where he shone, but this is a bit of a different preseason. He's got to prove himself. I suppose technically you could say the same thing about last preseason, but he's got to put his socks up, man. He has to. Garnacho and Rashford on the left, Anthony and maybe Ahmad on the right. He needs to prove that he deserves the opportunities that he's going to get. And especially with signing another striker. And then Rashford's definitely playing out on the left. Sancho's got to prove himself. Ahmad, I enjoyed watching Ahmad. He's definitely physically improved in terms of holding players off. Last time he would have just got pushed off like a whippet. And he would have just lost the ball. I think he would have been disappointed with his final product against Leeds. And I think that if you're looking for development between the preseason games, that's probably what you want to see a little bit more from Ahmad. Better final balls, final decisions. But his overall movement, I thought, was good. Nice link-up play. Cut inside sometimes, went on the outside sometimes. Good variety and added strength. So that would be my starting 11. The only two changes I'm making are bringing in Emran up front and bringing in Kovar as the goalkeeper. Other than that, it's the same 11 that played against Leeds. We're playing Lyon. Laurent Blanc's their manager. Should be slightly more difficult opposition. I'm going to go for a 3-1. What was that? What did I guess? I think I guessed 4-2 for the Leeds game. There's no way I'm going to get any of these preseason games right. Well, sometimes last season I was quite good. I'm going to go for the 3-1. I definitely want to see a bit more of Hansen Aaron in the second half. I want to see what Hugo can do as well. We maybe we'll see Fred. And you know what? Maybe we will see some first team internationals out there. I don't know. They haven't announced a travelling squad. Watch this. As soon as this goes out, they're going to announce the travelling squad. But all these players in there, and half the team I've just said aren't actually playing. But I would back United to win. I want to see more of Mason Mount. I want to see more of Kobbie Mainoo. I want to see more of Fernandes too. I want to see Martinez and Varane finding that partnership again, getting that fitness up. It was a decent first game of the preseason. Get this game done. Get Onana in. Get on the plane. Then we've got Arsenal. Then we've got Wrexham, Real Madrid, and Dortmund. Busy old time. Exciting, but busy. Let me know what your prediction is and what you think about the start 11. If you can, drop a like on the video. 3,000 likes. Unlikely, I know, but let's try it.